A lot of ambitious men in their late 20s and early 30s feel stuck. The frustrating part is that they usually know exactly what they should be doing. They have goals, they have ideas, they're full of potential, but the execution is not consistent enough to actually build any real momentum. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 3 main reasons that men get and stay stuck and what you can do to fix it and start winning today. Before we dive in, we need to start out by getting to the root of the issue. And we can find that by asking ourselves one simple question. What is the real reason that you're not able to get unstuck? It's not information. You already know everything that you need to know. You've watched enough videos, or you've worked in the field for some number of years. You have everything that you need already inside of your head. The real issue is the lack of execution. If you haven't started, well, that kind of speaks for itself. And if you have started, then you likely have made it a week or two, and then you stop, and then you try again a month later, and all of your momentum has completely stopped, and it's like starting over again. And when you don't actually execute, it creates this extremely frustrating gap between the person that you know you can be and what you're actually doing in a day to become that person. I did this exact same thing when it came to actually making content. I would watch every single podcast that I could find and every YouTube video on how to make better thumbnails and how to make my hooks better and keep people engaged longer. And I did everything that I could except for actually make the video. What I learned through that was that the actual learning was only gonna come through application. So I tried making a video, I did it for a couple of weeks, and none of the videos got any views. I was discouraged, disappointed, so I stopped making the videos. A couple months go by, I decide, well, let me try again. When I tried again, I was in the exact same place because I didn't stay consistent with it long enough to actually see any results. Every time I was defeated, I was discouraged, and I decided, well, I'm not gonna make videos if nobody's gonna watch them. But that was where I learned that I had to stay consistent in order to actually get better at doing the thing that I wanted to do. This created a gap between who I wanted to be, the person who stayed consistent, making videos that actually helped people, and the things I was doing day to day, which is starting, not sticking with it long enough, and giving up. Usually, this gap exists because of 3 main reasons. Let's take a deeper dive into each of those. The first reason is you have too many directions. You have a lot of ideas. They might be side hustle ideas, they might be career goals or fitness goals. And when it comes time to actually execute on any of these, you're being pulled in so many different directions that you aren't able to stay focused on one long enough in order for you to make any progress with it. And when you recognize that you're not making much progress, instead of focusing on one thing and pushing forward, what you do is you decide to stop doing that and you focus on another thing. This causes you to end up making no progress anywhere because your focus is on so many different things at the same time. Reason number 2 is that you have no structure. In my years of running a gym, I've seen this happen with so many men in this exact same position. They come into the gym in their first couple of weeks, they make it in 4, maybe even 5 times in a week, and they're super motivated. But 2 weeks later, they stop showing up. And at that point, it becomes like pulling teeth to try to get them to even come back to the gym 1 time in the week. So they went from going 5 times in a week to going 0 times in a week, and that happened because they were relying on motivation. The problem with motivation is that motivation is a feeling. And just like every other feeling that you have, your feelings go away eventually. From one moment to the next, you feel something completely different. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that motivation is a bad thing. I'm saying that motivation needs to be something that you can capitalize on by having a good structure so that you're no longer depending on it to be the thing that keeps you showing up every day. So without structure, this plan that's showing you exactly what you need to do from week to week, your execution is always gonna be inconsistent. The third and final reason that you stay stuck is that you have no accountability. And without it, you start to let things slide. When you miss one day, you say, I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month. And before you know it, you look back and realize that you've made 0 progress on this goal and you're stuck in the exact same place that you started in. No one wants to feel this way. So if we go back to the example of the people who showed up at the gym consistently for 2 weeks and then stopped, they had all of this momentum carrying them in the right direction, going exactly where they wanted to go. And then all of the momentum just stops. And the difference between them and the people who continued showing up consistently is that the consistent ones found accountability within each other, which then led to them staying consistent and consistency is how you win. Now that we understand the main reasons that you as an ambitious man continue to stay stuck, let's take a deeper dive into what you can do to start fixing those. Momentum begins when three things work together: clarity, structure, and accountability. Clarity is knowing exactly what direction you're moving in each week. If you don't know where you're going, then it's gonna be really hard to get there. Imagine if you asked your GPS for directions, and when it asked you where you wanted to go, you put in anywhere. The GPS is gonna be so confused, and it can't give you those directions to where you're going. Once you have the clarity, structure is gonna be the actual details of what you're gonna do to get there. This is the directions that the GPS is giving you. This is when it tells you to turn right in 1 mile. This structure is a simple system that's gonna allow you to stay consistent and continually execute week after week. And accountability is someone or something that's making sure that you're actually following through on what you're saying that you're gonna do. So when it comes to the GPS, this is the voice that says out loud, turn right in 1 mile. For me, when I miss a turn, it's my wife saying, hey, you missed that turn, you need to turn around and go back because we're not going that direction anymore. Whatever it is, you have to have something that's holding you accountable, making sure that you're executing on the structure to get to that destination we established in the clarity. I cannot stress this enough. You have to have all three of these things working together, or it's gonna be infinitely harder to get there. Momentum doesn't come from motivation. You're gonna build momentum by staying consistent and consistently executing over time. If you're somebody who knows where you wanna go in life, but you're struggling to execute consistently or build real momentum, that's actually something I'm passionate about helping people with. I left a short form down below. Go ahead and fill that out. That way you and I can have a conversation about where you're at and maybe some of the different things that you could do to help you continue moving towards that goal. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe because I'm gonna be making more content about discipline, execution, and helping you build a life that you're actually proud of. Thanks for watching.